hold of yesterday's close, that hold of the fib, that's going to be for the whole play. So again, for the last time here, we got the algo here, blip on the box, come back down, golden pocket. Right now, we are looking for a directional play from the golden pocket. I'm going to lean short, so I'm going to short the pops. I'm going to look to stay under the VWAP, under the 100 EMA, break through the golden pocket, and end up at yesterday's close as our target one area short. So on the NQ. So I'm going to stick with that one for now. Any pops to short, probably just hold through most likely, but I think we can get that algo to fill. If this thing wants to run away on us ahead of time, again, above the golden pocket and push up to here, that's fine. I'll most likely take a short scalp at 440.30. That will be the counter trend right here of the long. But right now, again, I am short. My average is 18,009.4 and some change back and forth there. And I do have some ES on there as well as the NQ. So for that being said, that is pretty much it. That the whole day is going to be developed off of a long into the 666 and developed off the two Fibonacci's we have on screen. So we are looking for, again, we are above these 200s here. That's 200 EMA daily, 200 SMA daily, the fuchsia dash line. The bigger one is the weekly. This one is the daily. I'm sorry, one is the EMA, one is the daily. The EMA is the smaller one right here, and the SMA is the big one. So we'll be watching that very close here for the potential bounces as well for the hold. And if it does dip back down, which we are hoping for the short out of the gate, we're hoping for that yesterday's close tag, 435.30 area for the short. And then we can assess whether we are going to get a bounce down there long, or if it just wants to break back down into the golden pocket again, because it's an untested variable of the body, right? So we'll have to see. We have a lot of data that could potentially happen here because we don't have anything. That stupid auto arrange things happening again here in TOS. Huge error. Let's draw it on the screen because TOS never works here. There we go. So this is the fib box from the daily. And I do want to reiterate here during this open is we don't have too much data past that golden pocket. So if this is our GP right here, these three lines, we can come back down and test that as well if it doesn't want to hold back up above the 100. So if we do break through our over under, which is 435.30, we can come back down into that live tag of half candle retrace now and 430, but we'll assess that when we get there. But right now we're 100% short biased, lean to the short. We're already entered short. We're looking for 435.30. So that is first trade and done for the day. And then we'll assess on those two levels. And that's pretty much it. Should be a relatively easy day. The rest of the week, again, we don't have too much on data or anything else to really carry us one way or the other. A lot of tiny data points. So there's really nothing going on until next week, except for the earnings after hours. So we're going to pay attention to the FAG. And this should be a really good technical analysis day where everything should play out pretty clean, similar to yesterday where we had a really abrupt impulse move down and guaranteed that upside. So that was easy yesterday. Now we just got to watch for the directional pick off yesterday's candle. So we'll see what Connor's got for anchors for us. And we'll just hop right in.
Good morning, everybody. So yeah, pretty much we had data come out, kind of broke down the 30-minute SPY and QQQ kind of shelf. So actually, I'll start here first, or start there first. Actually, I am here. All right, so looking at the initial kind of bottom for the day, that was anchor low. Pretty much that's where we're kind of holding right into data. Data announces they snap it down. A lot of times, once that happens, you even see back tests of that same kind of breakdown VWAP. So we've ultimately broke down that 30-minute shelf and then sold off, and we've bounced back and retraced that same VWAP, now holding below it. So if we're kind of instant, 1 second, if we're going to instantly, computer lag there for a second. Yeah, if we're going to instantly drop down and kind of flush down to some of these lower targets, initially we'll probably want to stay, kind of relatively below some of these VWAPs around 437.83. But bottom line, looking at the top-down QQQ and SPY volume weighted average prices, 30-minute scale, as long as the market is essentially below, even these prices, 438.90 to 43952, the market can still do that kind of pop to roll scenario. So I wasn't extremely long biased on this market. Again, leaning the same way Brandon is. We've had the nice bounce off lows, one push up, two, pre-market three, kind of getting a little weak there. We're not in a buy signal yet. So kind of looking at a little bit of weakness today, nothing crazy, no big expectations though. Again, coming off that big weekly zone, bouncing now kind of in this kind of high-low range. Not expecting for anything huge. But yeah, ultimately, as long as we're below the pre-market volume weighted average prices on the SPY, basically going to be looking for kind of pop or just rolling shorts for the moment. Hold on 1 second. I will call you back later. Yeah, so I mean, not a ton today for me. And I'll go over to the SPY real quick. Here's you can see this one actually a little more clear than the QQQ one, right? So looking at where that initial 30-minute bottom is, right, and where that volume weighted average price would come in, data comes out, they snap it, and you can see how we are back testing that now and rolling down. Right. So ultimately for the immediate flush, it would be really nice just to stay below that level. Then we pretty much probably just kind of roll down immediate. This is very similar to what we kind of talked about yesterday as it relates to the weekly scale on the SPY. So right now you're seeing it on a 30-minute, but we just did the same thing on 1 second. We just did the same thing on the weekly scale, right? So if we look at the weekly, think of this weekly scale as the same thing as pre-market today, which is this is the pre-market low, right? So we'll say this is the pre-market low today. We go up, we break it down. We sold down in the next weekly, caught support, bounced back, and then retested yesterday and rejected and created the high. So that's kind of what's going on right now pre-market as far as how the market's been holding around some of these levels. But that's what we're getting. We're kind of getting a back test rolling push down off of the volume shelf that was broken down just a little bit ago. So that's kind of what I see in the immediate. But like I said, no big plans, watching the QQQ algo. And if we have to pop up and do, some back tests of the top down 30 minutes, then, of course, so be it. No really other big plans like that on the SPY. And then just want to cover Bitcoin real quick. These were kind of some of the back test levels I would be looking at for Bitcoin for the moment. We have T1, T2, T3. Ideally, it's the same concept here with what we just looked at. We kind of started bouncing in all of these levels going back up, T1, T2, T3. These are all weekly back test levels in some form or another, right? So if we look at this previous weekly level, I'll just throw one on real quick and you guys will get the point, but it's the same exact thing that we're looking at here, where we were kind of looking at some of these weak levels. They got broken down. Generally, that can be the back test level. So previously we had used again, that 54,000 upper distribution level as a bounce point that got taken out, and this T1 is that level. So we're kind of back testing some of these levels, but ultimately, as long as Bitcoin's below this, it's kind of just still kind of pop to roll scenario. So we might again see this weekly still kind of roll down, getting new fresh resistance somewhere in this T1, T2, T3 area for the moment. But yeah, no big plans as far as the SPY goes, and yeah, I'll send back to Brandon. Turn that down.
All right, fun stuff. So, yep, this is the scenario here, guys. We've got the golden pocket. We fibbed out the algo this morning. We are in the golden pocket directional pick and looking at the oscillation right now. We're just hoping that we don't get a higher low here on Qs. We're looking for a continuation on wave. And even if it's divergence of price action, it's still kind of measured. The only bad part is obviously that 5-minute 200 SMA that we did back test yesterday for an absolute perfect support as well is kind of rolling up and chasing us down here. We don't have too much else for like anchors and so on and so forth this morning. I mean, just use your tops, use your bottoms, the norm for pre's and then the priors. And that does still kind of give us that up and downside this morning between anchors. So nothing is looking overly abundant to use, outside of the regular systems. It should be a pretty standard technical analysis day. And once Qs does get the long today, I think we are much safer at a nice big long than anything after the pull. So it's going to be short term on that pull and then coming back up to some anchors that were not tested or even back down, which were not tested on the 5-minute range yesterday, are all going to be potentials. All going to be potentials. Yesterday's opening candle lows just barely caught the end of day candle link as well. So that's going to be a really big deal to potentially back test, and we'll see. But yeah, I'm thinking that downside, hopefully. Looking pretty good. If we get scammed up there, not a big deal. We don't have any oscillation kind of telling us otherwise. So we got to stay under, I'd say even on the pops of those prior highs, like 438 or so. So we'll see. Any lower highs where I'll get real with the short here. So Do we end up getting any SPY? Algos here. Nope. No breakaways. No gap. Interesting open candle. That's about it. Pretty ugly candling and price action so far, that's for sure. So again, just slowly waiting for the short to manifesto here. Worst case scenario is the setup on the MAC and RSI all high or low randomly. But the VIX again is working for us. Volatility index is working for us. It's top RSI channel. We got the MAC over the 0 line. So predominantly a pop to short is still the play to be looking at through the golden pocket. We just got to stay under VWAP and 100 EMA for trend. And that will be the ticket to the short. We'll draw it on the screen right here. Do under VWAP in the purple, 100 EMA in the green. We got to stay under to target one down here. We obviously need a clean, clear cut through 437 to make it down there. And that is the key for the day. We're going to stay under the 100 EMA VWAP. If we start breaking that and squeeze, we head back up. That's fine. We'll do a counter trend scalp short up at 440.30. So we have 2 points of interest. We're just going to watch it develop now. Right now, watching option prices swap and P&Ls kind of get destroyed. It's leaning to the upside. And like we said, the 200 SMA on that 5-minute chart, that is the biggest fight for us right here for the day, because that 200 SMA 5-minute is big rolling support. But again, this is pre-market, so it doesn't matter. So we should see some actual tags of the 200 and hopefully a break of that. But if we don't get it, remember those anchors, and if it claws itself back, just be very select on trend, and that's it.
Yeah,
Should be
QQQ,
fine.
say that same thing. I got still room up on QQQ VWAPs, SPY VWAPs from the top downs, et cetera, et cetera. You guys know the jam.
The longer time anchors too, like I'm looking at 15 and 30s, are all still looking pretty decent. But like I said, that pop to short play or continuation short, I'm already in because I don't want to miss it. But I'll manage a little bit here. If it breaks over that 100 EMA VWAP, then we gotta let her go. But all in good fun here. Pop to drop is the outlook. And she can pop pretty high, so don't be surprised if you get some range up there. I wouldn't mind a quick, fast-paced push into that 439, which is like, that failed golden pocket breakout. So right here would be the fail point, which you'd want to see. Stay under, lower high is what that would develop. So checking on that. That's because it's the top of the algo on the screen. Mark, if you look at the pre-market guy there at 7 a.m. Central, I don't know what it is for your time. You see that long wick right here? That's the algo. So if we break out of the golden pocket, if it goes long and it squeezes past the VWAP and past the 100 EMA, I would short 440.30. That's on the screen because it is the top of the algo. So whenever we draw an algo, we have a little bit of a gap right there, right? So it will fill up here to 440.30 eventually, but we are looking for pop, drop, consolidation, back to higher. So that's going to be the picture perfect play if that develops for us. Good morning, Sam. So again, I'm short for now. Any pops out of the gate, I'm still going to manage through. Unless we start really pushing past that 100 EMA, I'm not really going to care too much. And again, like we called in chat a while back, we have room for like 18K or close to. That's like 80 points. So just be mindful. Average for me is 18,086 right now. 18,086 short NQ for me. I'm going to turn NQ on the top here as well. There we go. Because we are in the area of this little double bottom and a back test of those 200s, which you see in the fuchsia there. Won't be that bad of a deal. Yeah, because that's higher low territory. And yeah, it's in an interesting spot. We'll see what the open brings here. We got a few minutes yet. Could go either way, but I'm just going to let her bounce around at flat and even right now. Have I tried any accounts with my Funded futures. Nope, I have not tried that one. How are we looking there? I have not even heard of that one. That's the same general layout, or I'd have to take a peek at it myself. I suppose I can go look at that. But yeah, if it's general, everyone is the same pretty much shell company. They put up a prop company, they connect to NinjaTrader, Quant Tower, Tradeovate, Rhythmic, with TradingView, and that's about it. And then um, yeah, and then they play the prop. I mean, there's probably 10 of them now that are all pretty much the same. So um, doesn't look like, yeah, it looks like their website says they use Tradeovate, NinjaTrader, same shit. So it's going to be pretty much identical to every other one, I'm assuming, depending on how their clients, match up. But I could take a peek at them. I mean, we do a lot of pop perm testing, so definitely not opposed to that. I do like to get some of you guys that want to utilize other people's money a fair chance, and got to see what the scams are. Make sure you guys don't get caught up. The nastiness. Oh, there's a little pop right there. We got 3.5 minutes. People say good things on their Discord. Yeah, I'd expect to see that. We'll take a little peek. We'll see. Big old candle. All right, opening up above the golden pocket into the 100 EMA VWAP. This is the pop that we were suggesting here, guys. It was never short lows. It's pop to short, lower high, fail around 439. Everything's drawn on the screen there. Well, what do you know? You notice where that wick went, guys? I mean, it's on the screen, but pretty interesting. Pop to VWAP 100 EMA. Yes, sir. It's all under the screen or on the screen right there. Lower high failure of 439. Stay under VWAP 100. We drew the arrow right for the wick to come up on the candle and tag right there for us. Creating our own reality here. Few seconds here, guys. Again, we're still short. We're in profit by 10 points. That little pop scared me not at all. We planned exactly for this. We had it drawn on the screen before it happened. Nothing should be different. It should be a very good technical analysis day here, guys. All right, here's the open. We might need a live tag of that VWAP 100. Fingers on the trigger to add some short love here, but we'll see see how it goes. I didn't add anything yet. We got 5 contracts. We're up 18, 19 points there. I'm going to look to cover about 1 or 2 like always when we break into that 15-point range. Oh, we can always toss it up here for you guys too. Kind of see where we're at right there with the 5. But you can see right here as it's kind of just back and forth. If it can hold the golden pocket, that's fine. If it squeezes back up, it's still 100 EMA, VWAP management. No big deal yet. We got a big green PNL to start with. Like I said, we're up at 27 or so. So we got a ton of management position here. Where is our anchor? Top down anchor resistance, 438.80s. SPY needs to break 519.10. We just got to stay under the 100 EMA VWAP. That's it. We're going to let her develop here. And again, if it squeezes out, we reverse. That's fine. We're just going to let her work though. Nice and easy. So far, the option prices are slowly moving to that short side here. So unless we get a random blowout of the 5-minute, the VIX opened up directly in line. So that's really good. Maintaining that 50 RSI. We got our live VWAP tag. We did miss the 5-minute 100 EMA, so we might not be done with the pop quite yet. Again, 438.80 to 439 is that lower high area that you're going to want to see. And if we do happen to move past this up here, POC and hold down, we'll get that magnet to the downside here. But we're just trapped in the golden pocket for now, and it's just going to sit here and slowly take its time. All right, there's our top down. There's the blowout. This is where we needed to see 439. Like I said, if we do get that pop squeeze, we're going to be hitting that stopper on the profit on day. So we could have cooked that 15 pointer. She snapped down back. Now we're chilling. VIX had a really good open on the 50 RSI, really good open on the MAC, but we got squeezed out. Still, for now, I'm just going to watch up there. 440 30s is the +2 VWAPs coming down as well. So
yeah, we're starting to hit close to pre-market top downs. Even got like the 161 overnight gap level, but still got some strength on it.
Yeah, we're down. We're backwards 9 on ES right now, 7 or 6 on ES. So again, we got barely nothing right now to work with here. NQ a little bit more, but we had a way bigger P&L save on NQ yet, so we're still chilling. Where'd my second chart go? There we go. Counter trendies here. This thing is zoomed up way up here. It's near impossible to see. Too many monitors too far away. Ugh. Get old with the eyeballs. 439 over under now. We're just waiting to see if we get our rejection. Again, this is going against all indicators. We had no MAC cross. We had no RSI higher lows. We had nothing really built on the 5-minute there. It was just a steady slow grind. So again, all pops to short are still in play. 18,160 is a really good level to utilize here. So no big deal yet. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more to the NQ here myself. Perfect add on the NQ there. Filled some orders at 18,140. Oh, I missed on the big one. I lied. Order filled was ES. Oops. Oh, man. I had this dime on ES. I did not get that fill on NQ. That's okay. We're only down 14 points still. Working away. Everything is so far just kind of working. Slow and steady. Any more kind of pops here? SPY did not break down its anchor. We got the top down 15 anchor on QQQ, which is good. So now just chilling. Taking a peek at my funded futures. They look extremely expensive. 150K, only 6 contracts for 100. 6 contracts, 200, 150K account, only 9 contracts. It's supposed to be over 15. I probably wouldn't use them just because of the limited contracts and the high price, but maybe they're good. There's no benefit to those prices and those contracts there. All right, guys, re-averaging up NQ a little bit here. Now we're getting that further breakdown. I added in just a little bit on that short to re-average up. I thought I got the top average. I actually entered more at ES, unfortunately, but it's no big deal. My average is 18,094 here. Fixing that average right back up 20. Oh shit, let me grab this other one here. I can barely see this chart when I bring it on down. So you can see that entry and exit still held through the whole thing. No other momentum movers here, anything like that. I'll try to keep this chart up here. I'll move this down over here so I can see at least the entry and exits. You can barely see the monitor on the screen share way up here. I use it as a mirror, so I have to like move this one way up here. So we have still the 5 contracts. We averaged a 10 piece right there. You can see the short ad called cover. We still got 18, 15 points to work with. And again, we're still looking for that breakdown here. Still short bias, 100% pop to short, 5 contracts, up 36. Let's go. Starting to get the momentum here. It's exactly as we said, pop to short, fail 439. Any questions, let me know in chat because this was exactly the breakdown. Crystal ball's cruising right here. 45 points up here. We're going to slowly edge out of this position now. So I took profit on 2 right there out of the 5. We're up 42 points. So we want to take a little bit of a profit in there now. So we got 3 contracts riding, and this is where you're going to start to see that -2 VWAP come in. Those usually can slip that support right here. So we're coming into this guy right here. That can be a speed effect right now to actually kind of peak up. And there you go right there. You got 70 some points. This is where I cover one more. Boom, boom. So we're down to 2 contracts riding now, 70 some. And we got the green at about 5,700 so far, first trade of the day. But everything was on the screen way before it happened. Pop, 439, lower high, continuation under VWAP 100 EMA, new 5-minute candle, which was this one that created it, was absolutely perfect. How are you guys faring at market open? You guys see the trade? You guys see the development? Did you guys understand the trade? That's the most important.
Perfect. Really spot on.
I like when we draw it on the screen and it happens exactly as predicted. Because then we got the screenshots, and I think you're recording this one, so that'll be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. It's not yen carry. That's not a bad one. No such thing. If you got the green, you got it, man. Now, continuation is under this yellow circle. Obviously, under 437 is the next key. So I'll delete the drawings for now since everything has been perfected here. But now it is 437 is your over under. This is the one that matters the most. We need to see that over under now produce perfect resistance, even though, like I said, we are going to come into -2 VWAP deviation. This is the VWAP standard -2. And I said this would be a bounce point. So take your profits. And that's what we did. We're still at 4K. We're letting 2 ride right now. And we're just kind of letting it do its thing. Because now with the fat P&L, and if we come back to entry or where we're at right now, we could even re-up, grab some more contracts to play the momentum, or we'll stop out at flat. We'll lock in about 4K and we'll plan for the next entry. Yeah, this was a pretty solid one. That's for sure. We just need some speed to continue. We broke that 200. And again, I'm still calling for like 18K. So I still think we have an opportunity for 18K. It's just going to take a little bit here. slow and steady. And again, like I said, any fresh low break is going to pop back up to that lower high. You can do an add right there. So like we draw it on the screen right here, just simple price action trading. Here's our pop to short, breaks a low right here. And then the lower high that is trying to produce up here is actually short scalpable once we see that manifest. Now, right now, the MACD is trying for that upside 5 minute, obviously, and the VIX and everything is not looking all that hot. So we could get squeezed out after a failed attempt under the GP. So this is our attempt under the GP. We hit -2. So if we do start to break back up for an average right here, I'll just take it back off. And when we see the breakdown a lower high, I just hop right back in. No harm, no foul. But right now we're doing okay. And I think we need to stay under 437.67. That's obviously the 50 golden pocket. So this little gold dude right here, as long as we're under this, I'm not going to cover anything. We're perfectly fine. Whoa, options prices just went bonkers right there for a second. We're getting a lot of implied volatility. We're probably going to speed up there. I just watched some options go pretty crazy there for a second. Remember, our final target is 435, about 30, which is yesterday's close, and filling up the algo box, as we called them pre-market, for the short way before it happened. And this is our T1, so get ready to close out here as we are nearing into some fun here. Boom, let's close some options there for the day. There's $400 on Tastyworks on the options. We are up 6,300 on just the final two still. We're up 75 points, as you see on the screen. And I wanted to see yesterday close, and yeah, we're getting pretty extended here. So this is our secondary drop. This is where I'll take one more off here. Okay, got an insta fill there. Now we're down to 1. We're up 87 points. We are pretty much unkillable here on this position now. Doesn't matter what we do. We're just going to ride that final contract down to our 435.30 as we're locking in about 6,500. One trade, one lot, one plan. Predictive trading, my friends. Probabilities. Apple helping us a lot with that 2.5% drop so far. And again, a SPY could see downwards of like 516.50s right now here yet, guys. So we're doing pretty good. And utilizing that YouTube video that we said we would stay under that and hold golden pocket, come back down and test. We're actually doing that right now. So here's our final push down to target. As you see, we're up 106 points or so. And that is pretty much the end of my trade. We're right into yesterday's close, 535.30. The call has been made. So let's close her out at 100 points. So there we go. We're all out. So congrats to anybody that took it. We cracked the 7K mark there. We'll update. Well, all the entries and exits are on screen like always. We called this again way before. We might get some speed up here, but one and done.
Beautiful, beautiful. Literally pop too short into levels. Perfect.
I'm glad you got that on the record, especially when you drew down the screen, because that'll make it a lot easier. Boom, target hit. So there's your 100+ points. Let's go update the Twitter because we were totally correct with this as well. Awesome. Now what do you guys want to do? Tell campfire stories?
Tell campfire stories.
And it's all done, guys. This is exactly what we needed. It's one and done. That's the prediction. I don't care about any other trades. This was the highest probable trade for us in the best case scenario. And I'm glad it worked out. Yeah, it was an absolutely banger of a trade, man. We narrated the entire thing. We left it on screen. I'll probably do this a little bit more. I'm really against this stuff. You guys know that. But you know, the proof's been in the pudding for 5 years. I have nothing to prove to anybody, but this stuff right here, I just want you guys to take it into heavy consideration, not to follow every single time. Okay. My accounts are a little different. Our trade styles are a lot different. DCAs are different. So I don't want you guys to wreck yourself following the trades. Generally, I'm not, a trade caller. We want you to develop that trade, but to watch something play out like this, I know it does help some people, but I know a large majority of people follow every click, whether they want to or not. Sometimes that FOMO bites you, and I just don't want you guys to get beat up on it. So just be mindful. So we're going to take this off. Yeah, those are all the entries and exits, one on the day, and good to go. So we're all done with the big account, one and done, 7K. We'll work on the top step accounts and the options accounts now. We're 230 green on the options accounts just for the fun scalps, just because I like to utilize options or literally just to see where the market's going. I mean, I use it as more of an indicator than anything else, which is kind of fun. So
Yeah, this thing looking pretty. I mean, just based off that consolidation we have from yesterday, like yesterday's low going into the after hours. I mean, yeah, if this does end up draining out, like Brand said, that 516, I got some anchors there. But again, those are the ones that like get created at the end of the day, which I don't really like to use anyways, but nonetheless.
Don't listen to YouTubers. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, this training session is more about the levels that I'm picking. So when I said pop to short, drew on the screen 439, like I'm trying to articulate how everything kind of played out. And you see me go backwards like 40, 50 points. Like that doesn't bother me at all, especially with a 2-part position or a 4-part or a 5-part. Like those are okay for me to manage. If some of you guys on top step accounts or props or Apex and you only get 5 contracts in a micro, and all of a sudden you see me at 5 contracts and all of a sudden you're 50 points backwards, and it's like that would make me feel terrible. So that's a lot of the time. Again, I'm a teacher at first. I don't spoon feed anybody. So these are not trade calls for you guys to just mirror and look. I really want you guys to be able to develop the strategies and develop the trading that we teach here so you guys can do this on your own. Like you can see the proofs in the pudding. You see us do it damn near every day. And that was a perfect predicted play. Now that's the takeaway. It doesn't matter where I click the button or how, it's just how we found the trade. That is so important. Nope, I won't teach anything in options. Dave is a great options trader.
Yeah,
I have
fantastic.
nothing for you on options. Dave supersedes me by all means. Don't listen to anything I say with options. Like I said the other day, I had an old YouTube where I did a bunch of testing on options. I showed a bunch of people how to beat the PDT system, which my buddy Trigger Time Rob here in chat has taught me. And I mess around with options. They're fun. Don't get me wrong. They're fun to play. There's a lot of opportunity. Here's your long scalp, exactly like we said, 435 counter trend. So that's it's a playable style, but you can make way more money with way less risk at a way better positional value using micros and futures. Don't even bother. Options are, unless you're swinging them or going through the overnight or selling them, which I do a lot of the time. I just sell them and QQQ or NQ or ES or whatever I'm trading isn't going to go below or above this level. I'll do a lot of credit spreads, right? And like 300 here, 405, it's just extra a little bit. But when I keep a single open, like I purchase a put, I purchase a call on the futures, I actually use that as an indicator 90% of the time. It's not even a trade. I'm paying the indicator price. So that's about it. But there we go. So I scalped that one just a little bit more, another 385 up there. So range is about 7,300. Not bad. Yeah, it's all about the levels and the fibs, man. We're here to teach exactly how we do this. And if I can just grab a quick 105 point short before it even happened, narrate the whole thing. That's the takeaway, guys. Who cares where I enter? Don't talk about, entered here, following the chart. It's following the play. You got to digest and understand exactly how we did that. Now, remember, we're switching back to the long for the day, and so on and so forth. So this was our long entry. All we had to do was keep this right here. And I said down to yesterday's close was the first short. I said we'd hit support here, right? And then this would turn into the potential long play all the way back to 440.30, pending on the development. Now let's look at the development. What's development? We need oscillation down here on the MACD. These lines need to cross back to that upside. RSI needs to start creating some higher low, higher highs here on the QQQ, and that'll give us at least a chance at a confirmation indicator oscillation using the MAC and RSI. So now we are in waiting because we got our 100 point out of the gate killer. We merked it. So now let's watch for the developmental long. Okay. Explanation of the 5 indicator. Yeah. So Rob's asking like what I mean by an indicator. And please take this as a grain of salt. There's so many other better indicators than this. I just do it because for some odd reason I got into the habit of it. And I generally like to watch option prices, and I'm not as good as Connor as at the single contract watching through TOS. So what I do is I will pick a 1 day out or 2 day out NQ contract, right? And I will like a scalp day, it's like a single day, nothing super far away. And I'll utilize 1 day out and I'll go within 1 deviation out. So right when you're on the ITM and the money, I'll find a high volume contract. And if my bias was short this morning, I bought some puts, right? So I bought 1 day out NQ puts at, what's my activity line? What did I buy? 17,650 and 18,400. So I was way out at 17,650. Now, what I do is I purchase that call or put, right? And in this case, for the short this morning, I purchased a put, and that put has a spread, right? And the option prices generally move a little quicker than what you're going to see on the chart. So if I see my P&L on my open contract trade that I had made, right? I come in, I'm like, oh, okay, I got to grab this trade. It's open. I can see the P&L of the open contract fluctuating and actually gives me directional. So if I purchase a put and it starts to go red, I know something of a pop is going to be coming, or generally we're just not ready for the downside yet. And then vice versa, if you buy a call, so on and so forth. So literally I just keep a cheap open contract open on like a micro or an NQ, and I just watch the P&L of it. And when I'm in certain areas, so if I watch that P&L start to dwindle, like speed up very massively, like here, I bought a call and somehow it made $385 just from here to here. But when I purchased it, it was like plus minus 30, 40, 50. And all of a sudden it ranged up like 80, 90, 100, but the candle wasn't even made yet, right? I was making $100 like here before that whole breakout happened. So the P&L was recalculating on options faster than the chart will. But again, grain of salt, man. There's so many other better indicators than that.
Yeah, and that's a small one. You're basically looking at implied volatility. So the market is
Yeah.
implying volatility prior to a move, right? And that's just because, all the computers can read everything. They can read volume, positions, who's coming in, who's exiting, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And all that data getting put into the system juices the implied volatility prior to such move occurring. Now, it's not always going to be the case, but generally speaking, that's the whole premise of implied volatility. The market is applying something prior to you really seeing it happen. Just like the volatility index, right? You see the volatility index went to like whatever it was like 60, 70s, right? Now, prior to it going there, it was breaking all the long-term uptrends, right? So all the long-term uptrends on the VIX over this past like month have all been breaking to the upside, right? So the long-term trends are changing to positive, right? And then all of a sudden you see the VIX slam up to 70, right? So the market was implying there's volatility on the rise. And then here you go, market gets clapped and everyone's talking about a Japan yen swap trade and market's over and world's ending, right? It's like,
World's always ending.
World's always ending, right? But it's like, the implied volatility, the market saw that, prior to, us being hit with all of this negative news and essentially this down move, right?
All right, so for the remainder, we are now stuck in the wait game. We hit our short, and now we're just waiting for the long potential to build, okay? So I'd be long down here. Like I said, counter trend from here, and then back up to 440.30 is your long. So right now, this is your long position that we called right here. This is the short exit, long entry. Now we need confirmation above golden pocket, and we will target now here on the 440.30s, okay?
We also broke through the top down 1 minute for the day, so we might start squeezing some of the 1 minute scale here, or we're pretty close to it for that matter. And if so, transition to 5. 5 is going to be higher, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, we're getting some good points up there. We're cooking to that upside here. Doing pretty good. So ride the wave here with us, guys. So anything over now, our biggest support is right here. So maintenance here. We'll draw it on the screen again. 435.3. This is maintenance. Main support. That's the best P ever. All right. So anything above that 437.05, this is that logical support golden pocket. We will now go long to 440.30. It's another 200-point call right here from the bottom. Watch and learn. Here we go. Nice, Mark. Good job, buddy. I'm hoping you guys do. And that's what I like to see in chat. Hey, I caught that long scalp. I don't have to call that. If that's my short target, that's my exit. If I'm exiting my big short right there, that's obviously a long entry, right? We know that. We've been doing that for years. And man, have we been killing it lately. So now again, top down anchor is 423.35. And where's that? 423.35. That is yesterday's highs, pre-market open. Okay. So we do have a good amount of consolidation long. This next long take precedent. Any long building above 437, we are waiting for the MACD to develop now to the upside. So this guy right here, upside, cross, waiting. Okay, so we're waiting for that to cross. Same with that 50 RSI right here. That's kind of a terrible drawing for that. There we go. We need to be above or over. Okay, so those are all the oscillation markers you're looking for. Waiting for the RSI to get over that 50. The cross is already happening. That's why I went long already at the bottom here. We scooped a another little contract there. Just a couple little baby contracts we're working with right here. We're done with the big accounts, so. But we like to scalp the options too. We just play everything, man. That's what I like. Keeps you sharp. Me otherwise, I guess, but I enjoy it. 1 minute gap, yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, that 161 would also put us back at the weekly -1 on Qs. SPY.
And Sam, I checked out some of the shorts. Those look really cool, man. Connor is recording this up today, so maybe we can get you some more data on that, as Connor is going to try to develop some on AI as well, and those are looking good. I know Semper is doing some too, so we do have some videos here. We might just upload either Connor's YouTube. We'll put it unlisted, and Connor can post it in the chat. So what we'll do is most likely we can have Connor post on the YouTube, make it unlisted, right? You guys can steal it off YouTube, and then do all the edits that you can. And hopefully we can get. Or I'll hire one of you guys. I need somebody consistent on Reels and all that other stuff to make it all happen, and then potentially just, I don't know, just give you my login credentials, just use my YouTube, just log right into it and do whatever you need to do. Because we have a lot of great members here. And if I'm going to hire you, it's going to be nothing, something automated like that, so I don't have to do all the extra. But those look really good, man. I think we can finally start pushing out some short-term stuff there. Where is the freaking chart I'm looking at here? Yeah, we still have tons of upside here, guys. Everything is perfectly in line. Just wait for the next consolidation point. If you did miss that first long, please don't long in here. Let the trade go. I'll draw it in future here, what you want to look for. So once price action comes up here and it comes back down to potentially hold one of the golden pocket tops, that would be your long 2. We'll just put it as long 2 because that's going to be the second version of the long you should be able to take here. That makes sense. Does this help when I draw everything on the screen, or is this annoying? Because I just started doing this for the last few days. Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
All right. Because this is, I know it's good for like most of the teaching, like, as far as like class goes, whenever I would teach this helps a lot. I just want to make sure you guys are getting beneficial for this, or if it's too cluttered, you want to see the chart more or whatever. Yeah, it's all about the growth here. That's what I'm here for. If I can make my money, close out, be done for the day, and teach, that's my main goal, man. Like giving back. The money thing is not important. This is not the number one takeaway from that. More colors. It does help. Okay, that's good. Good. Visual definitely helps. Okay, good. I just don't want to be too cluttered or anything like that, or if you guys are missing indicators, but the trade plans and trade ideas, everything is, I'll draw as much as I can on here, guys. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I figured as much. I figured those are some rough drafts, but yeah, that's something like that would be great if we could probably work some out here. So let's we'll chat it up, and like I said, I'll either message you or I'll have Connor upload a unlisted YouTube of like today, and then we could all chop it back up and see what we come up with.
Yeah, and then or I could even do like a file share system as well, because it might give better quality than ripping it off YouTube. But then again, I'm not entirely sure, but we can definitely set up sort of file share there as well.
So Case, it's hard to follow on YouTube. Do I go too fast, or is it zoomed out too much? Because I've been playing around with resolution, and for like I have bad eyes, so like seeing this stuff, I have to kind of, I have the bigger 32 in front of me now that I have to like stay in front of, and that runs at like 1440. I could zoom that in, I think, more. I'll redo the OBS so I could actually get in a little deeper. If it's too far away, please let me know. Like articulate and grade me as much as you possibly can. I take everything constructive. You can never offend me, so I mean, nothing would ever hurt my feelings. Give it a shoot the messenger, man. Tell me everything and anything that's possible I could do. Yeah, I'll have Connor upload it unlisted to you guys, and I'll link you guys today. So when Connor uploads it to unlisted, we'll get this, and I'll send it to you guys, Sam, and we might just start with that, and then screw it, and we'll figure it out. We'll hire you guys and get some of that going so I can post it up, and then, like I said, just give you guys the login credentials to this YouTube, because it doesn't really matter. It's only connected to one email, one YouTube, nothing of my actual stuff. So. Oh, the amount of lines on the chart. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah. And sometimes it's, I don't spend as much time, because I know people on YouTube, it's like, they're so fast paced and it's hard to keep their attention. So if I'm sitting here lollygagging, they'll shut the YouTube off. So sometimes I get it a little faster, but I just need an editor, because all these videos, Connor will start doing, I'm going to start doing it here. I just set up another drive for it, an external. So I'll have an entire drive now dedicated to just videos and editing. And then I'll be able to get this to hopefully some of the editors here. And I want to give a chance to the Boiler Room trading community, give back to you guys. So if we can work something out with pay, membership, doesn't matter what it is, but if we can get some BRTs, some really good guys focusing on that stuff, I would be more than willing to pay you guys up and help out, because that's yeah, actually shoot me a DM, show me your stuff. Anybody that does it, I could use more than just one human being. Even if you guys want to run an entire TikTok developed on it on your own, you'd be paid for that. So I don't know what prices are. I'd have to look through Fiverr and some other crap or whatever. I have no idea, but you tell me how it goes. It's not my expertise by any means. Okay, so we got that 666 1 minute on ES. We're getting a nice little pullback there. And again, now we are looking for the support. Look at the fuchsia line, okay? Fuchsia. Don't take the trade. I just put that X there. I told you guys not to take this trade, right? I told you it's going to pull back. Do not take it because we already entered on the long entry at the bottom, right? 435 area. It popped back up. You do not chase a triple green candle up 5 minute chart and long that top. You have to wait for a confirmational backtest. Confirmation, if you go to the 1 minute chart on ES, is going to be the hold and back test of the 200 SMA, 1 minute. That's going to be 5251. Okay. And I'm not using it on the SPY because I want to keep the SPYs 5 minute up. So I'm just kind of giving you a general area to watch on the futures, which I don't follow all the time, but because Qs and SPY are just simply better when they're open, but just be mindful there. 100 EMA for NQ. So it is coming into right now support at 18,101. So anything above 18,101 is a purchase. And this is right where the buy is going to go. And now you're going to see this trade develop how we drew it on the screen, hopefully correct. And we're going to get our target of 440.30, which would net us a call of 340 points today. And that'll be 2 trade calls. That's it. Yeah, for sure, man. We'll get it all done there. Yeah, for sure. How come I favored the 0%? Wait, how come you favored the 0%? Wait, I don't know what you mean. Why did I short? Why did I short the golden pocket fail, not wait for the retrace to 440.30, then short? Is that what you're? For the long. Long is at the 100% at 435, which is the bottom fill of the algo. That was the long on screen, the long entry, long E on the bottom. Maybe I'm reading that wrong. How come I favored the 0% algo fib entry and not the golden pocket entry? So the 100% is on the bottom for me. 0 is on the top. Oh, you meant the 100. Okay. So why did I favor? Oh, I wanted to short down to it. Is that what you're asking? Why I took the short instead of longing right there? But both were good. I am long. I'm long on options from 436.50 right here, and we're up 500 and something on from 230. But this is exactly the trade call. We're going 440.30, and this would now net us. We're almost that target. We have a tiny sliver to fill right here at 440.15 on the gap. But no, this was going to magnet down because the data was coming from the top of the algo candle, not the bottom too.
I like that. Yeah, top of algo candle. I see that. Yeah.
There's a little sliver there. And in the data here as well, notice that, the data is coming from the top side. Okay. So we're coming from this side, coming down to the golden pocket. So generally speaking, popping back to lower high to fill first would be more logical than assuming that the golden pocket will hold push, then dump out. It's not set up for that in the psychology because we are more on the longer standing timeframes, daily and weekly. We're more set up for a bounce right now. So I don't see this flying out of the gate, then pulling back, then going. I see it dumping out of the gate, then flying up because the psychology of the daily, weekly charts that we're looking at right now after 1,000-point drop. So that psychology is still set for me. Yeah, just like the pick of the version 2 here on the future chart here, that, like I said, it is not longing here. This is a perfect resistance. Long it when it comes back to here. Okay, like that's that long entry as well, and that's what happened. It pulled back exactly from my X, came back down, found the golden pocket. Now we're going to get our 440.30, and that'll be 2 trades and done. All the accounts will be set fat green here. That's it. We're almost to target. Is hold tight here, boys. We'll get her. Yeah, if you're not pointed to the upside, yeah, make sure that's pointed to the upside. If you don't have that algo fib pointed to the upside, you can draw it any way you want. It doesn't matter to me. I'm playing the inside of the fib range right now, so I don't care which way the extension is. I only care about what's going on inside. So it doesn't matter which way you draw it this way. But for the longevity of the day, definitely pointed to the upside because we're going ultimately for the 5-minute 666 on both QQQ and SPY. So our ending targets, I'll draw it up here in blue, I guess. This is where the bonus round is. We're going up here. End of day long here. And then same here. But that's the furthest up you're going to see for me today. That's the three trade plans. Dump out of the gate, long from the dump to 440.30, reset out of 440.30, long to 6-minute 5 or 666 5-minute. Those are all three trade plans. So everything is drawn on the screen for exactly what we should be looking for. The pullback from the X, no entry, long entry, fuchsia above 437.60 hit perfect. Back tested 100 EMA, 200 area. Now we're waiting for this consolidation to hold nice and long as the VIX, drops off. But if it needs another higher low setup, that's what the fuchsia line's there for. We want to see it fail here, come back down to the golden pocket, which is 437.60s, and then that long entry that we just drew on the screen here, that's going to be your secondary, right? Because you don't want to long the tops. You want to get the next higher low. So we're waiting for the higher low development in the fuchsia. Yeah, so this is good. This is what we're talking about in pre-market here, guys, as well. When we're talking about it's going to be a very good technical analysis day today because we don't have any data. And then we're following a giant psychological knee-jerk move, right? So we're going to get this anchor here. We're going to get 523.38 on this next push, no problem. I'll bring this up on the screen so you guys can see this too. These are the anchor. Oh, shit, all the drawings are there. Well, these are the anchors I'm working with right here. It'll be a little busy, but remember this top-down anchor in the blue right here in SPY? That was a tag we're waiting for to back test too, and that would be a breakout tag and to chase down the green. So I mean, we have long written all over today. It's nothing but long. Very easy day. And there you go. So targets almost hit there. We got about 30 cents or left or so. We might do one more little pull, but like we said, all pullbacks above 437, just buy them up, average in, get into that 440.30 target, and that trade is done. So final target is going to be hit here in a sec, and the anchor will be our resistance point and 523.57 on SPY. So we just pushed in, target hit, boom, boom. So congrats to anybody that took that trade. We just knocked out over 350 point calls both ways. Now the final bonus round here will destroy all these drawings because we don't need them anymore. Everything is played out perfect. And now you are down to 440.30. This is the support we need, right? But right now we're obviously nowhere near getting it. We're over the volume area high, which is right here in the orange. We got the +2 VWAP, which is right here. We need this thing to range up, right? Go kind of bonkers, pull back, and then find the consolidation for the next hour and a half here above 440.30, which will hopefully do our next push back up. And we're looking for the 5-minute 666, and that is the end of the day. We're not looking for anything else. So now anything over 440.30, which this is going to be a lot longer to take place on now, guys. Okay. We've been chilling here for a bit. We need this to slowly develop now because we're so extended to the upside. It wants to blast off for a crazy short squeeze, blah, blah, blah. Fine. It doesn't matter to me. Everything is perfect for the long, like we said, off right here. And yeah, we're going to go to that 5-minute 666 potential. We just need the support to hold right here. Now, let me draw it in a regular yellow. That looks like poop. I get really good at my artist skills here, doing all this. Needs above. And then we're going to target up here by yesterday's highs, 5 minutes 666, like we said. That's the bonus round and end of the trade. So now we're at the max. This is where your short scalps come in. Obviously, Qs is going to break through 440.30 there on the top of the algo. It's going to come back down. This is a counter trend scalp, which we just said would happen as well. And we can get, let me see, is that open the top? It is. Okay, so pre-market high is the opening price. We can get a good pullback here on SPY. Now, notice the back test. Look at the SPY chart on the top right and tell me what we need to see here, guys. For the last trade, because we're pretty much done with everything else. What's on the right-hand side there that we need? Anybody see it? What do we need for a long on SPY 5-minute chart? Definitely caveman hieroglyphics. Pull back to the 50 RSI. That's all right. That might not happen, but we could look for that. We definitely need drawdown. We need pullback to what? Yes, James, 100 EMA 5-minute back test. So James is correct. So this is what I was looking for right here. So this 100 EMA has a breakthrough along with the 200 price action snap through it. Found resistance. Now what do we need from here? It is short all the way down to the 100 EMA target 1. So you are here short. You are at target 1 right here at the 100 EMA for SPY and ES, which is what you should be trading here. It's exactly correct. So that's what you're looking for right now. The SPY short at yesterday's highs, pre-market open, and all the way back down to the 100 EMA. Now, will that happen right away this second? I don't know. Confirmational setups are what we need, and the VIX has quite the dive to it right now. But that is pretty common because, like we said, when it's up at the 50, 60, 70, you just the next couple of days are guaranteed long. The caveman. What a good day. All right, quick restroom for me. I'm gonna grab a water and whatnot, and we'll be back. So you're gonna slowly watch for the confirmational short. What I would probably do for this short too, if you haven't yet, you can go down to counter trend scalps and do that off the 1 minute. So if you go to the 1 minute right here off the SPY, this will generally give you a little bit better of a counter trend anyway for the speed in which you're looking for. So under yesterday's highs there, and still the 1 minute chart is going to show you the same back test needed. So again, when the short gives you the confirmation up here, and it is right, it's pretty close right now. This might get a secondary loop like this on the MAC, and you'd look for the same thing for a low break and then getting to that RSI 1 minute. But inevitably, that 100 EMA will need a back test. So the 200 here. So I think the 200 SMA is your target 1 minute T1 short. So I'd stay short right now until that. And I'll be right back.
I was gonna say too, guys. Yeah, the spies also come up into some 361 extensions, close to 423 extensions for today's gap as well. Just an FYI.
All right, guys. So with that, hospital called. Perfect timing. What are we looking at here? Okay, we're still double top yesterday side, still in the short zone. We're still looking for that RSI. Unless we don't have divergence, we're still in the same spot. No changes. Counter trend short. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about here, guys. Short counter trend. It's scalps, though. We say scalp. Scalp is fast paced, right? Short scalps, short term, right? Very fast, short term scalps. Because even on the like in the NQ world here, go to the minute chart and it's the same spot. It's the top of this area here where we said counter trend. Obviously, our long target becomes short entries for slips, right? Now look at this guy right here. Just to be realistic, Jesus, 60 points off a short scalp. El perfecto. Keep the ADHD in check, buddy. Absolutely. All the trades are out right now. We're just waiting on the short. Like I said, we're shorting everything at yesterday's high, shorting the pre-market open, which is 523.91 on SPY. And you want to see a back test of the 200 SMA in the 1 minute. So you are staying short right now and you're waiting for all the pullbacks. And this is the wait time where there's like a whole hour worth of consolidation, double top, and so on and so forth here, waiting for this move to play out. Dirty green candles up, y'all. It might take a little bit here. We're done and closed out for the day. Green. So awesome call so far today, Catman. So how come on some days